Matt, I just wanted to say I was telling Tyler about how our session went last week, and I got like a sentence into describing what you're doing. He's like, "Oh, it's Dude Love." I was like, it was all very original to me.
It is pretty sweet. He had all of this stuff. So, all of that aside, we are here. It is Sunday morning somewhere. It is other times, other places. Got my Luchador Saint shirt on. I've had 3 cups of coffee. It is going. And unfortunately, Doppelganger has a lot of family up here in North Dakota way where we're having the match. And so he apparently got drunk with them and is off doing that. So we're down a wrestler, which we'll figure out the booking of that in just a little bit. But right now, what we're going to do is we are going to introduce the 4 returning wrestlers and get a quick 30-second pitch on who they are. And then we're going to introduce our new wrestler. We're going to get those heat questions put together. And then I'm going to take a breath. And then we're going to figure out the booking and get the matches rolling for today. Before we get started, just know that this is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, and we're playing Worldwide Wrestling. And you can find out about us at gauntlet-rpg.com. So you can check that out. So I want to get introductions done. So I'm going to start working left to right on my roster sheet. So Mr. Fahrenheit, give us the 30-second pitch on who or what you are.
Oh, woo! Don't stop me now, baby. The spaceman lover has come to GLW because there were some bad vibes around here, baby. But now there's going to be nothing but love and ladies in the seat as they come to see this luscious lump of wrestler.
Thank you, Mr. Fahrenheit. And then the other Mr. On the roster today is Mr. Style. Mr. Style, can you please tell us about yourself?
Oh man, this gang is lacking so much class. I just can't believe I got out here from my city life. Well, I guess I gotta whoop them butts tonight then.
So a little downbeat, or you're gonna pull up from that mood, Mr. Style?
Just gonna get some coffee and I'll be fine.
All right, excellent. And then our third wrestler is the mysterious, maybe not so mysterious, the understudy. Understudy, please tell us about yourself.
I am the most mysterious. I'm a chameleon. I hide myself as other wrestlers and no one can tell, except for the whole full body cover-up suit of like spandex and question marks. I'm playing the understudy, a clown who does parody farce off of other famous Gauntlet League wrestling characters. Last time I went around as Cyborg Destroyer, a little bit as Sub-Pig, just because I love Sub-Pig. And I think this time, as we're getting ready for the show, the understudy is outside in his spandex suit with just like buckets on buckets of dirt and a hose, just filling up each one.
Awesome. And next we have Kat, the Cannon Causey. Kat, please tell us about yourself.
Kat is a lot more straightforward than most of the other wrestlers here. She's rough and tough. She's built like an athlete. And she's currently serving as like the token hot lady backup to Mr. Fahrenheit, which is a part of her job she hates and yet keeps fulfilling.
That is the world of wrestling, those tough choices. So those are the 4 returning wrestlers. And on top of that, we have a new wrestler for this show. This is a house show taking place in Grand Forks, North Dakota, population 53,000. So we'll figure out exactly where the show is taking place in that delightful town, city, whatnot. But first, Gerwin, please tell us about your wrestler.
Oh, hello. We here at Gauntlet Labs have a wide variety of wrestling technologies to demonstrate for you here tonight. I will be the one showing them to you. My name, it is the great Professor Chaos!
And Professor Chaos, you're a face, right?
That's right, yes.
Oh.
I'm here to do the right things. I'm here to show people how they can better themselves through technology.
Excellent. And just for a reminder, if you're a heel, you get 1 heat with every face. And if you're a face, you get 1 heat with every heel. And if you were, if someone is an icon, you just get 1 heat with them. Okay, because they are outside the realms, which actually means, Mikhail, Mr. Style, you should have 1 heat with Mr. Fahrenheit. Professor Chaos, describe to me what your gimmick looks like. What's the outfit look like?
Oh, I'm the quintessential mad scientist, don't you know? I have big stand-up hair. I have my wrestling tights. We call this a unitard underneath. And of course, my patented Gauntlet Labs lab coat. Guaranteed to get any blood out easily. With
Excellent.
our patented Gauntlet Labs clothes washing system.
So we've got the merch all set up for that. So you have some heat questions, Professor. Let's work through those.
Oh, I don't appear to have written them down. Can you just give me 1 second?
Certainly, Professor.
That was very foolish of me, and doing that.
You fool!
Well, I tried to be a fool. Remember? Give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
No, do you have the link to the group with the gimmick sheets on by any chance? I can't seem to find mine.
Let me grab that up. Hang on 1 second. Drive. Oh, Ryan is on it.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. Okay. So it's 1 for each wrestler, right?
So yeah, just go through them, and if things double up, then they can double up. Let's see. Okay.
I've come up through Gage Valley Wrestling, where I'm one of the mid-card there, but this is my chance to make it big. Who's helped me get to where I am now?
Ooh. Anybody want to take that? This Brit, a little less perhaps ostensibly violent than Jack the Ripper Jones.
I can take it. I think like maybe Mr. Style has been like flaming your style on this account to such a degree that you actually got included to the show.
Nice.
And I gained 1 heat with them. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Let me just pull that down. So that's Mr. Style. Okay. So the next question. Who thinks I'm all smoke and no fire?
Ooh.
Cat thinks you've got a solid gimmick and you're going to move a lot of laundry detergent or something, but you don't have what it takes.
Oh, excellent. In which case, then, who is trying to steal my approach?
I think maybe I fall into that one, where it might be less of a thing of me like straight out trying to steal your gimmick, and more you have concerns over how far your gimmick can stretch, and so you don't really want other people stepping in on it.
I like that.
Okay, and finally, who's my fan, even though we're peers?
Hmm.
I'm happy to take that too. You're one of the most over the top here, and I'm really into that actually.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that's good. Yes. And yeah, that voice is going to kill me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that is a choice. It's an actor's choice right there. All right. So give me 2 minutes to book the match, and then we're going to come in and do previously ons and get rolling here. So let me see here.
No.
Yes.
Before we do the first match, can I just have a quick pre-recorded segment?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do pre-records and stuff. So yeah, remind me when we come to there, and we'll get on that.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. So let's see here. All right. So we are coming from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Last time you guys were in a minor league hockey team ice rink. So tell me, what kind of facility is this match taking place in? Matt, what is the wrestling arena for Grand Forks, North Dakota?
I'd say the wrestling arena here, it's probably like some kind of giant barn that's left over from some kind of state fair or something like that. Fairgrounds seems like an indie wrestling, address to me.
And so, yeah, they draw people for this big barn, the big barn show from all over North Dakota. So you get that massive, 150, 200 person turnout to fill the barn seats there. And I'm imagining that it is like either like it's just after the state fair has run. So it's before they've done the big cleanup. So all the parking areas are mud, and all the garbage is still out and around. And it is kind of a mess there when we come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some previously ons from people, and then if people have some segments they want to do before we do the first booking, we can do that. So let's kind of go in reverse order, just because we know that Chaos has a package here. So Professor Chaos, is this your first time with Gauntlet Wrestling?
This is his first time with Gauntlet League Wrestling itself. Like I say, he's been on the training circuit, the feeder for it. But
so what's the previously on we see for you in the opening when they got the package up?
Oh, it zooms in on a dark room with all these sort of electric gubbins everywhere, and there's Gauntlet Labs branding everywhere. But there's smoke coming in, and you see Professor Chaos running. He's holding what looks to be some sort of weapon. His hair's fuzzy and all over the place. His lab coat's burnt, but surprisingly clean. Is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And he runs into the lab. Oh, quick, Igorovich, quick! We've got to get back. We've got to stop them doing what they did. We have to change the future. And the words come up in a few days' time. It's not very specific. It's just, oh no, we have to stop them. And he's flipping switches. Prepare the photonic transporter. And they roll out this. It looks like a cheap prop from a 1950s B movie. Rolls out, hooks it in, flip the switch, and he steps into it. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2. And at that point, Igorovich flips the switch. No, not that! And he vanishes. And the Quantum Leap music starts playing.
Okay. And so we cut from that potential bookend for the show to our previously on. Kat, what's the highlight bit that the audience gets to see of you here in this this opening before the show actually starts?
It's definitely just highlights from her last tag team match where she sprang in and had leg up on. It's not the doppelganger. I keep messing up their names. The understudy, and got his awesome moves before being blinded by all of his laser pointers and was defeated. And when she managed to pull this match back together, the other guy, whose name I suddenly can't remember, busted in and disqualified her. And no, there will be a reckoning.
Right, Ripper.
Yes.
Who couldn't make it, who was supposed to be scheduled. You're supposed to have a big showdown match today, but Ripper didn't make it. So we cut from that. What's the previously on for the understudy?
So you see from some clips, not necessarily from the last show, but around the last show, where the understudy's in his question mark suit, but he's got like the motherboards taped to him to be Cyborg Destroyer and the like gray wig on, and he's setting up the various laser pointers. He shines one in his eye and sort of falls back. Ow! Why? Ow! Sorry.
That's on the clip. That's fine.
Cat attacks. Then there's a shot of him being like pelted off screen with hot dogs in the sub pig mask and the sort of vendor's apron as he runs away. There's another shot of him picking up a whole another box of laser pointers and just shining them all in his face and wandering off. And then there's a shot of him and the doppelganger wearing his costume. It's all very confusing. They're doing the like mirror gag from Duck Soup and waving at each other before finally the understudy just gets tired of it, punches doppelganger in the face. He falls down like a brick and understudy steps over him.
Nice. Mr. Style, what's the quick shot we see of you here that the audience gets as a taste of your style before the show begins?
Yeah, I think it's like in his wardrobe, you see like him trying on some clothes and then like turning to the camera and saying something like, "Oh yeah, the Gauntlet League Wrestling has some image problem. Like, I'm gonna fix that, make it popular by the young people again." And then you see like a small like set of clips where he gets like smashed to the ground and defeated in all the matches he's in. And then the clip of him walking out angry from the last match is like, "This is bullshit."
Oh yeah, it was a good hype that we got there. And finally, Mr. Fahrenheit, what is it we see from you?
The package from Mr. Fahrenheit would be kind of a replay of the humiliations he suffered last week, but edited in such a way that this is really just a story about Mr. Fahrenheit. Like, you kind of see close-ups of his face and the reaction as, he's being pelted with the hot dogs and the condiments and whatnot, and they look like a buffoon on the outside. And like cheap video effects, like the camera is just kind of spinning around the close-up on his face till that freezes and like kind of comes off the screen. And there's another image behind it of a similar depredation occurring, and then it just finishes though with the when Mr. Fahrenheit hit his finisher on the Ripper after the match.
Oh yeah, the post-match battle there, all those run-ins. So what we're going to do here is we're going to roll in, and the first match is actually going to be Professor Chaos versus the Understudy. But we've got a couple of segments that I want to do before then. I want to do one with Mr. Style, and then I want to throw some things to some other people here if they have some bits they want to do. So, Mr. Style, this place. This is the Monday after they've had this state fair, so there are all of those sort of outdoor cooking booths that do like hot dogs and deep fried candy bars and elephant ears. So there's that smell that is lingering over this place. All of the vendors have stuck around because they think they can do a few more sales here on this. So the audience is horrible and greasy, but they've got a locker room area set up back here. And the camera kind of comes in on you, and you will see a couple of the other luchadors come in. In particular, you'll see El Toro, who has big bull horns on his mask, and Dr. Explosiones is a woman in this lab coat. With this sort of exclamation points on her mask, and Capitan X, who has essentially this black mask with a big white X on it. And they kind of come in that sort of hostile way, where two of them kind of step off to the side, and Capitan X kind of walks forward, and he's like, "Mr. Style."
Yeah, and I think it's like, "Hola."
Hola. So, kind of making a splash now. Got some big FaceTime last time.
Yeah, and I think like Mr. Stats like looks him up and down. It's like, yes, someone has got to bring the style back.
Back? So what I'm hearing you saying is that we don't have any style? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Maybe I'm probably going to give you like a D minus on style. Maybe it's not an F though. So, and that's pretty good up in here.
He steps up. Listen, you reality show wannabe. I don't know where you came from and who had the cojones to bring you here, but this is our show. And you know what we have? We have masks. You, this thing, this face, that is nothing. So you'd better get in line, and you better get yourself a mask if you want to stay here.
Yeah, and I think, do you think I want to hide this pretty face behind a mask? What? Hell no.
He says, well, when we're done with you, you may have to hide that behind a mask.
And I think like he takes his arms, crosses his arms and says, maybe I should reveal what's ugly face you have under there, huh?
Ooh. So I think you can cut a promo here on Capitan X if you want. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like you probably like see like Mr. Stein like going directly to like his phone again and it's like, ooh, this Mexican bringing the heat. I'm gonna enjoy tearing that mask off, that's for sure.
All right.
Maybe it's gonna go down to an F then when I see his ugly face.
Oh. Roll with look.
Do you have a link for the roll for a potty?
Yes, I will grab copy. I'll drop it in the chat, and it's also on the sheet. Oh, I put it wrong. Here we go. Oops. Why is it not doing that? Okay, hang on. Oh, that's because I selected a blank cell. Here's the roll for your party.
Yes. Mr. Style, let's see. That's a 9.
That is a 9. So you have a choice. You can make creative book you in a match. You don't have a match with him, so there's not a stipulation. You can gain a momentum, or you could get a heat with Capitan X. He is a heel, Rudo, so you automatically start at 1 heat with him, so that would take you to 2.
I think I want to book him in a match.
Okay. Excellent. That will be the thing is it kind of ends with that clearly there is going to be a showdown between Capitan X and Mr. Style tonight. That is going to be a big thing. So you can write him down at 1 heat on your sheet.
What's his name again? You said
Capitan X.
Capitan X.
And we'll cut from that. Gerwin, I heard that you had a thing to do. Do you want to do that as a lead into your match, or?
It was the Quantum Leap reference that I wanted to get right at the start of the show. So
okay, so let me check with other people's package, and then we'll come to promos before the match. Kat or Fahrenheit, do you have anything you want to do, or should we roll into the match?
I wanted to get a promo in on Ripper, but I don't know if that's appropriate here, or if you want to save that for later, or however you want to pace the show. But that's something I have in mind. So
yeah, let's do that a little bit later. But I like that. We'll definitely do that. Kat, anything?
Just off screen, I think Kat's going to catch understudy filling up all these buckets of mud or something, and just kind of okay, whatever. But yeah. Great job last time. You really pulled that back.
Thanks. It was very confusing. Can you hand me that one over there? Thanks. Yeah, it was just a whole mess. Doppelganger wanted to try this whole like mirror reflecting into infinity thing. I'm not even sure how it played off.
Yeah, the whole wrestlerception thing is a choice, but yeah. In the ring, though, you definitely had it last time. So, yeah, good luck.
I thought you were doing amazing. If Doppelganger hadn't stepped up right before he knew when your big spot was and showed off for the cameras, I think you would be in the package reel this time.
Yeah.
I've written down wrestlerception so that we can use that later. So that is awesome. So this first match is the understudy versus Professor Chaos. So let's do the promos. Let's do Chaos, and then let's do understudy, and then we'll go and we'll do the 2 entrances. So what do you think is your promo for the match, Professor Chaos?
Okay, so we've got the entrance to Quantum Leap. Theorizing he could travel within his own lifetime. Professor Chaos stepped into the photonic transporter and vanished. And it goes through that, and it's basically the intro to Quantum Leap, but cut with characters from Gauntlet League Wrestling and done with knockoff music, so we're not breaching the copyright there. And then there's a Quantum Leap effect, and there's a high school football team actually set up. And he's there, and there's a quarterback ready to take the snap. And it's just, and then there's this old man wearing the Great Forks Red Devil shirt, and he just looks at the ball. And there's this whole team charging towards him. Ah! And it runs away, and in the distance you can actually see the barn. It cuts then to him sneaking around, and there's the doppelganger's locker room. Oh, I know it's around here somewhere. He has to have all that tech I gave him for the match last week. Oh, all that cyborg destroyer tech that he took from Gauntlet Labs. Oh, it's here somewhere. And he steps in, and I'm basically cutting a promo and establishing
You've named your opponent. You've established that. So let's have you go ahead and roll with look.
Okay, so
except to be clear, and it is all very confusing. I'm the understudy.
Oh, did I say doppelganger? I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I keep on getting the two of you confused.
Very understandable.
Yes. Also, I do want to remind people, if you have 1 or 2 audience, you start the session with 1 momentum.
Okay, so here we go. I got a 3. Sorry, I got a 5.
Got a 5. So you do call him the doppelganger.
By mistake.
And we see that, and you do that, and it kind of lands, and people are confused because the match has been announced, but you're saying the doppelganger, and you will see the general manager when you're kind of done with that, kind of cuts out. He's like, "Did you not read the script?" Or is it like is the word backwards because you're from Britain? I don't know.
No.
Do you read left to right or right to left? What's going on?
No, I read the script, and I'll hold up the script. Look, and it's the name understudy has been crossed out, and someone's written in doppelganger.
I don't know what you're thinking, but the match, which we called out just a minute ago, is with the understudy. So,
oh, don't worry.
Not a great first session, and we spent like $30 to get that promo there. We had to get one of those mixer boards down to do the special effects. So,
oh, don't worry, I can save this. Yes.
Okay, and we'll cut from that over to understudy. What is your promo?
So mine's also a pre-recorded package. It's nighttime. It's deep in the primeval forest. It's honestly about 300 yards that way, just inside the tree line. But there's like recorded sounds of wind howling through the trees because it was a really calm night last night. And you hear like a wolf howling off in the distance. And then you hear a slow jingle, jingle, jingle. And come stepping into frame is the understudy, dressed in like a cheetah print Bam Bam sort of loincloth outfit, and with like reindeer antlers on his head, which have the little sleigh bells on them that are jingling as he walks. And he leans down and grabs up several handfuls of mud and just starts like smearing them on his chest and saying, the forest howls at the injustices done by the technologies of man. We have felt the perversions of Professor Chaos and his strange, nearly copyright infringing lightning machines. And the Harbinger has been called from the depths of, and just right then, like 3 bucketfuls of mud fall down from the top of the shot all over him. And he smears it off. Harbinger, the spirit of vengeance from the forest, has been called to bring the evil professor, and then like buckets of mud from the side come splashing in all over. Harbinger, I'm the Harbinger, I'm here to fight Professor Chaos. Then all the mud, and just cuts out.
Perfect. Let's have you roll look.
Jesus, please tell me I have a good look. I must.
You do.
Hey, okay, I got an 8.
Okay, so there is that moment where you probably see Venomous walking around, and probably you see him look at you like, "Whoa, dude! Like, not cool," because that used to be my gimmick. But you get a 7 to 9 on the cut of promo. So, what would you like? Momentum, heat, stipulation?
Stipulation.
What is the stipulation?
Oh, this is definitely a mud wrestling match.
All right, then. So, with your mud covered, and the group is, they're trying to get the mud section set up there on the stage, even as they're going in, and we're going to cut to the entrance. Who wants to be the announcer for this match? Ryan, did you do it last time at all?
I did not. I was just watching the people who had done it before.
Well, I'm going to make you do it on this first one. It doesn't take much, but don't forget you can put someone over and push them up a success level. And I may cut to you for some reaction shots. Sound good? Okay. All right. So when we come for the entrance, Dr. Chaos, Professor Chaos, sorry, you have a PhD. I probably get tenure too. But anyway, so what is your entrance music like, and what does your entrance look like?
Okay, so I run into the actual arena, still carrying the football. I'm running. I'm still wearing the Red Devils high school football shirt, and as I run down the ramp, a whole load of the players from the town over that they don't like are chasing me to the ring.
Okay. Does that sound like cheap heat there, maybe?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely going for cheap heat.
Okay. Yeah, they boo. You know, there's. I mean, this is the heartland. You could call it that if you're being pretty generous of America, and they take their football seriously, so they will peel off. Chaos, did you realize it was a mud match?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, kayfabe, I didn't.
So yeah, they're spraying down the mud and getting that all set. What is your music? Is it just the Quantum Leap theme more?
Yeah. At this point, he doesn't have any music. He's literally just running away from folk. And
perfect. So you take your cheap heat, kind of get up to the ring, be startled by this, and under Harbinger.
Can I use a face move at this point?
Sure. Tell me what that is.
I am going to add a stipulation that this is a lumberjack match.
Okay, so you're going to spend 2 momentum.
Yep.
Okay. And for those of you who do not know what a lumberjack match means, as you're kind of climbing in, the football players will circle, and you realize that some of them are wrestlers in these high school uniforms. They will circle the arena to make sure that no one can get out. And that is what lumberjack. They will throw people back in. So you've got some high school kids and some wrestlers, and they have surrounded that, and there is mud in the ring. It is not the most secure tarpon, but fair enough. And under Harbinger, Harper study, understudy. Tell me about your entrance.
So I think for my entrance, the lights here in the barn go dim, so that I suppose all you can see is the glaring floodlights from the parking lot coming through the gaps in the wall. But there's a couple of like lightning flashes and thunder sounds, and then some completely inappropriate, like Philip Glassian abstract classical music starts playing, and wolf howls are in the background. As, yes. As Under Harbinger comes crawling dramatically out from under the curtain of the ring, looks at all of these high school students a little confused, but, you know, slips up into the slightly bemudded ring and raises his arms up and gives a great howl to the air as in the ring and over a couple of the front rows of the audience, a couple more buckets of mud are dumped. At which point I think then the football team / wrestling team has to work a little bit to keep some of the front rows of the audience from coming in the ring and discussing his artistic choices with the Under Harbinger.
Yeah, there are some irritated fans there. But do you think you're working the audience then if you're kind of arranged for this kind of spray down?
Oh, yeah, it can work for fucking them over, too. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So roll with audience.
All right. Ooh, that's an 11.
So you get 2 momentum.
Somehow they love this.
people in the back rows in up in the bleachers, they're laughing at the people who paid extra to get splashed by mud.
And I think some of the front row was actually like some of the younger members of the town, like football members from the one other high school in town. And so as they rush up and have an excuse to get into a bit of a brawl with their rival football people, I think they actually enjoy it.
All right. I think that you're going to start in control of the match, understudy. Since you've kind of got the edge, you've psyched out Professor Chaos, and we're going to set this up. I want to ask, how does the announce table react to all of this? What is this par for the course, or is this a shocking turn of events?
Well, we have understudy engaged in the audience as usual, this time with mud, apparently, instead of our food fight last time. Much less wasteful, although I'm sure that the front row probably doesn't appreciate that, although it looks like maybe some of them are into it. And we've got an unusual match here today, mud and lumberjack match, so let's see how that goes.
Would you call that a muddy lumberjack match, or is there some other portmanteau you would use for that?
Yes, a muddy lumberjack works fairly well. I'm sure I can think of something better, but I'm going to need a minute, given that these were tacked on at just the last minute. We've had no time to prep. No one expected this match.
Absolutely. What a shocking turn of events.
Okay, at least.
So, tell me, understudy, Professor Chaos is up there and for this mudjack match. Understudy, how does this match start?
So I think it starts with the camera swinging from the announcer's table up to the ring, and it just catches the tail end of the Under Harbinger, like leaning over the ropes and whispering over to the announcer's table, I don't think we can say muddy lumberjack on air. But comes back up, and he gets very serious and portentous as he stares down Professor Oz, and they start like circling the ring around each other, and Under Harbinger is taking very pretentious steps, and you hear just like a slorp, jingle, jingle, slorp, jingle, jingle. As he's staring down Professor Oz, he says, you come here and disrupt the natural balance. I'm about natural balance and nature things. And you're like, electricity, that's bad, and I don't like that. Because I am the spirit of vengeance in the forest. Wolf howl. And then I'll say, and besides that, you're hijacking the body of a teenager and turning it all old and wrinkly, which has got to be against some sort of city ordinance. And I'm pretty sure you don't have a work permit. You're in high school. Don't you need parental permission to do this sort of... Anyways, there are forms you haven't signed and laws of nature that you have broken. And he's going to come running in, slip a little bit on the mud because maybe this wasn't the best idea, and just come in with a slamming arm bar right into Professor Chaos to go back into the ropes.
So a lot of setup, then a mud slide into to get that to smash into him. So that does sound like this is your signature move. So I think you're going to roll with look for this high point.
Nice. That's a 12.
That's a 12. So here's the thing: you're going to keep control. You can choose if you want 2 more momentum. Holy cow. Or would you like another heat with Professor Chaos?
No, I definitely want another heat. I want this to get good. If we're both going to be slipping around in the mud, I want something good to come of it.
Okay. So Professor Chaos, he arm bars you. How are you selling that?
He comes up to me and I go bang. He knocks me flying into the ropes. I bounce off the ropes. I do a little flip over, and it's bang, smack into the middle of the ring, covered in mud.
Oh yeah.
I try to get up. I slip and fall down again. I tried to get to my feet for the second time. I'm there, but I'm unsteady. I'm just waiting for him to knock me over.
All right, understudy. You have the opportunity. You have the chance to do this.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue like prowling around the edge of the ring a little bit, slurp jingle, as I stare at him and say, "Your science will avail you not. The spirits of the forest have come for you, and nothing, not even your weird electricity hole or Dean Stanford from the future. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember. Who cares? Nobody cares. That's who. It's too old of a reference." And I'm gonna come in and get in like a headlock with him as we start sort of circling around each other. I get in a couple gut punches. It goes faster and faster as we start just like spinning at high speed through the mud. And finally, I'm gonna reach a leg out, catch him behind the knee, and sort of travel him down to the ground and slide across the ring, almost coming out the edge as like football players have to push us back in.
Wow, that's a pretty marvelous thing. That sounds like something that you guys had to work out beforehand, right?
You into that, Professor?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So roll heat with the Professor.
Damn, that's a 10.
That's a 10. Momentum or more heat?
I'll pick up one more heat. This is fun, sliding around in the mud.
Yeah, they're loving it. This mud spraying everywhere. There's people shouting. When you hit the edge that you're almost going to go out, that's the point at which the lumberjacks like slide you both back into the ring. There's probably this exchange based on the lumberjack match. So you go sliding across and then back and forth, and mud is everywhere. And you're both covered. But you still have control of the match unless the Professor wants to interrupt.
I have no momentum to interrupt.
Oh, look at that. So you can keep working him over.
I think as the Professor is standing up from the edge, because Under Harbinger sort of sprung back in his element. He is of the mud. He is of the earth. I think as the Professor is standing up and wiping mud from his eyes, there's just this great deluge as I've grabbed another bucket. This one's full of mud and straw because we don't have a lot of leaves, but we have a lot of straw in this barn. It's just coming right in his face. And I think the Under Harbinger is just sort of like yelling and cheering to the crowd. He's soaking up their sort of love of this whole play. And I think there's just this like vengeful look that comes over the Professor's face as Under Harbinger is not paying attention. And I'm gonna pass over actually.
Okay, Professor, you have a moment here. Catch your breath here out of the mud.
Ooh, actually, I think I'm gonna do like a little chant with the football players outside the ring and get up a little like their high school psych up chant. So I'd like to cheap heat.
Okay, take your cheap heat.
Okay, so I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the football shirt. I pull it off. I look at it. Oh, this is filthy. Why would you do this? And I'm going to throw it over the handlers that are still on Under Harbinger's head, so it's hanging down in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I run over. I punch him once, punch him twice through, punch him back onto the ropes, and then I'll reach into my pocket and pull out a spray can, shake it up, and then pull the shirt off, flick it, and suddenly it's clean.
Ooh.
And take a moment to pose with the actual cleaning product.
Those CFCs are harmful for the environment.
Oh, and we've got a turnabout here as Professor Chaos demonstrates the amazing cleaning power of Gauntlet League Cleaning Solution.
And then punch him in the face with it.
Merch stand, folks.
I'd
that sounds like look, right?
It's definitely look. Let's see if I can get it better than a 3 this time. That would be a 8.
An 8. So you got a choice. You can keep control or give control and take a momentum.
I'm going to keep control.
Okay. Do that punch. Got the clean shirt.
Under Harbinger is just like knocking away smoke and fumes and coughing on the horrible chemicals.
So I'll do a little. Professor Chaos doesn't move normally. He's like this hyperactive mad scientist that you see in all sorts of B movies and in all sorts of media. He'll run over to the other side of the ring. He'll tug up the trousers and the pants he's got on, and he'll reach down and he'll pump the actual sneakers that he's got on there. And you can see little lights coming up on there. And of course, they've got the Gauntlet Labs, the Gauntlet League Wrestling, Gauntlet League Lab logo on it. And there's a tight shot of that. And then he'll do a little run up, and he'll run over, and he will spear Under Harbinger. I had to think that. I almost said Doppelganger again.
All right, and
spear him into the corner.
what do you think that is? Are we going for more work, or is this? What do you think?
I think I'm actually playing up. I'm playing up the merch as part of my gimmick.
Oh, I think look is perfect.
So that'd be a 10.
That's a 10. 2 momentum or heat.
I will take the 2 momentum.
Okay. So kind of getting a little bit more control up, getting yourself back in the game. What happens next? You can keep going unless the understudy spends momentum to interrupt you.
Are you doing that, Pat?
No, not yet.
Okay. So I have her over in the corner. Oh, we don't need to fight. Bang. This doesn't have to be violent. All you have to do is tell me, where is the technology that you used last week? Bang.
I don't know who you're talking about. I've been in the woods for all of eternity, a spirit of something I don't remember.
Oh no. No, that's wrong. You are a very naughty boy.
Got a little mud in your throat at that point. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm using my fate. I'm actually the whole we don't have to fight. This doesn't have to be violent. I'm actually using my face move here to gain +1 heat with the understudy.
Okay. So that's spend 2 momentum and get 1 heat.
And that reverts control to the understudy, I believe.
Yes. So he's bashing you. The audience is kind of chaos. The lumberjacks are trying to push you back in. You get that opening. What do you think, understudy?
I think as I'm like down on the ground, choking from all of the fumes, the technology, and it's obviously weakening me. I think my antlers sort of droop a little bit to the side. And I'm just like sneakily reaching under the curtain of the ring as I pull out a giant Bam Bam mallet and come chasing back at him with a club, beating him about the head and shoulders as we go slipping and sliding again around in circles around the ring.
So what do you think that is? Is that something you guys have worked out? Do you think that's your look? Or do you think it's actually you can? Don't think it's technical wrestling.
No, I definitely don't think it's that. I think it's probably look.
Okay. Let's have you roll with your look.
There's a nice punctuated like wolf howl every time I hit him with the club. That's a 10 again.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Pat.
2 momentum or a heat.
It's a heat. People are loving this shit.
What's your
I think we have like the muddy front rows are now right up behind the lines of football players. They're all getting sort of splashed zoned and throwing mud back in and getting into it.
Here's the thing. I mean, you've done the work, and understudy, you are booked to win against Professor Chaos here. So you may move into your finisher if you wish.
All right. Yeah. So I think what the finisher here is as we're circling the ring, the spiral gets tighter and tighter until you're there in the very center of the ring. And I think just out from some sort of like cheaply drilled holes in the mat there comes pumping this sort of like watery mud mixture that comes up around your knees and ankles. And as he just comes in, he starts beating you from shoulder to shoulder with this big, like, obviously plastic mallet. It's driving you down a little trap door, like deeper and deeper, like you're sinking into the ring, until at the very end, I think you're down to like mid-chest level, arms just trapped on either side as the mud is rising up. And I think that's, when the lights will start going down and thunder, and hopefully that all comes off perfectly without any technical flaws.
So you roll 2d6, and you can spend momentum.
Jesus, that's a 10.
So you don't even need to spend momentum.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You hit it
higher than a 6 all night.
You hit it clean, even though this is, I mean, and what you imagine, this is, fairground level special effects, and they're working with mud, and you're putting him into mud, and this is super dangerous right now, actually, when you actually think about it. But you hit it. Now you get to choose. Do you get an audience, or does your opponent get an audience?
I think you've come out of this the best.
Yeah, I love you, Gerwin, but I do think that fell my way.
Yeah, you gain an audience. The crowd loves it. What's the announce table's reaction to this moment here, this crowning glory? I'm going to throw that back to you, Ryan.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch the entire question.
So what is the announce table's reaction to this moment?
It's and the power of Gauntlet Labs cleaning solution can't save him now. It looks like our newcomer to Gauntlet League Wrestling, Professor K. Oz, is trapped in the mud and at the mercy of the Harbinger.
Can I just cut in here slightly?
Sure.
The Quantum Leap music, there's a light from the hole that I went down in, and the the quarterback of the football team pulls himself out, covered in mud.
Nice. And it will do that, and there'll be that moment. It's clear that Professor Chaos has escaped somehow, and yet it's going on. And there is this thing where you leave the ring, and they are desperately trying to clean it up. The general manager is screaming at the crews because they've got another match coming, so they need to get that cleared out of there and set. And you can fall back. Our next match in just a moment is going to be Mr. Style versus Capitan X. But while they're cleaning the ring, I think we're going to take a 5-minute break for beverages and stuff, and then we'll come back into that. Matt, can I have you on the announce table for that one?
You got it.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Patrick, we played Yokohama again yesterday. I don't know if you had a chance to play that. I really like it. It's from Tasty Minstrel, and I've played now 2, 3, and 4 players, and it has scaled well across the board. So I recommend that one.
I just have to say, I'm so glad I got the chance to do that, because Harbinger was like definitely my first Gauntlet League wrestling fandom.
Yeah,
God, I fucking love what Philip did in that first one.
That moment where he comes backstage and he's in the suit because he botched his role is one of my favorite moments in the whole thing. So
yeah, I was definitely just like so role player jealous through watching that whole thing. The amazing shit that he pulled out.
So when Ryan comes back, what we'll do is we'll check and see if anybody wants to do anything backstage. And then we'll go to Mr. Styles' promo, and then we'll cut to the match. But I want to make sure I check in and see if anybody has anything they want to do before we get to that. And also don't forget, next Sunday, we are not playing. But we are playing the week after that, because next Sunday is Origins.
Are you, excuse me, are you running Passion de Passiones? I'd pick up games or something down there.
Yeah, they have the Games on Demand program. So I'm taking that and Hearts of Ulin as the 2 choices for that. So we'll see what gets picked.
Ulin is so good.
I was so jealous of everyone who got to play Ulin. It's one of my favorite genres.
It has rolled out pretty well. So we've got that moment between matches. I want to see, does anybody have anything they want to do backstage on camera or off camera or anything like that? I do think that I want to do a brief scene with Kat before we pull forward, if you don't mind.
Wrong button entirely. Sure.
I have something real brief. It's not a scene, just and in the interim, after they get the ring cleaned up and all the mud sort of squeegeed out, at some point when things are acceptably clean again, I think again from the rafters we'll just come dumping a whole bunch of little like flyers that don't say anything. They just have like a spray, like looks like spray paint version, like a U and then a circle around it, and they just fall all over the audience.
Okay. So, Kat, you're kind of backstage. You've watched this, whatever that match was, and you are mercifully relieved that they didn't make you do a mud match. And in fact, you will see as you're back there, you see some of the other women wrestlers are like have headed off, and they seem to be having kind of an intense conversation. You'll see Serious Business and Rattler Queen and Dr. Explosiones. They're all having, you know, a pretty intense conversation right now. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go see what's up then.
And you're not sure because you're relatively new, but you are sort of gatekeeper for Terminatrix. And
for Mr. Fahrenheit.
For Mr. Fahrenheit, that's right.
I don't quite get to be Terminatrix's gatekeeper.
Right. So they will kind of turn and they'll say, "Oh, hey, Kat, have you heard what management is talking about?"
No, what's the news?
And Serious Business has her arms crossed. She's like clearly really irritated. She says, "Well, we just had word that they're redoing the arena back home, and they're thinking about making some serious changes to things. And apparently, this new management is talking about splitting off the women's division.
What?
Yeah, doing it as a whole separate thing, giving us our own belt, but putting us on a separate card. I mean, pulling us out from the big matches and stuff.
Yeah, so just sidelining us. We can have a token belt. That's
exactly.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, and they just brought you in and some others, so I don't know what the deal is. Have you heard anything?
No, they haven't said anything to me.
And Rattler Queen goes, well, you're kind of the rising star. Maybe you ought to do some talking. Maybe you ought to do something about it.
Yeah, see what I can do. I don't think I've got a lot of pull with the management, though.
After last week, and there's some quiet there, awkward.
You remember the start of last week, though, right?
Yeah. Maybe you go talk. Maybe go talk to Terminatrix. She the general manager likes her a lot. Or maybe you go talk to the general manager.
Yeah, I said I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can.
Okay. Do you want to do that now, or do we want to cut to that later on?
I can definitely do that now.
Okay. Who would you go to? Would you go to the old man, or would you go to Terminatrix?
I think I'll go to Terminatrix.
So she has her own room. She's the champion, and she's there. And do you knock, or just go in? What's the order around here? How does that work?
I think I kind of knock, pause a second, and let myself in, sort of like notifying more than proper knocking. I think that's sort of how the women, at least, operate.
And she looks up at you. She's got a nice space. She's clearly, they give her star treatment there, and she's like, Kitty, right?
Cat, but
oh. Did you need something?
Yeah, you heard that the management's thinking out with the women's division.
Yeah, you can tell she's heard about it.
I mean, I know you've got some pull with management. You got the title right now and everything. Can you maybe try to talk him out of it?
See, here's the thing. It was kind of my idea that, maybe we put some of the, women's division where, you can get some attention and you guys can do that, and, technically I'm a cyborg, so I'm genderless. So they're going to keep me in the main roster, but, give you guys some chance to have some real attention.
So you're just clearing us out.
I wouldn't say it that way. I'd say creating a whole new opportunity for you.
Yeah, making sure that none of us have a chance to get your title, huh? You don't think you can handle some competition? Are you worried that management was going to prefer us over you?
Well, she kind of stands up at that point. Look, you don't know what I've been through. You don't get to talk to me like that.
Don't see how that means that you get to put the rest of us through it, huh?
Look, you'll have plenty of chances. You can work here for a few years and then, go on and, do a centerfold or whatever, or get some kind of contract or something, with this look you've got.
Yeah, I think we're done here. Just going to let myself out.
Okay. And you can feel that slow burn that you've got. And she kind of looks at you, just that absolute arrogant air rolling off of her. All right. So let's cut to the setup here. for this match. We're going to go to the promos, and then we are going to move to the match. So tell me, Mr. Style, what does your promo, your setup for this match look like? And then we'll cut to Capitan X, and then we'll do your entrance.
Yeah, I think I'm like standing over like with my manager with like two outfits or something. I'm like, I think this is perfect for the new fashionable Gauntlet League attire. I'm definitely thinking that's the best one. And then like looks at the camera and is like, "Oh, you're here. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm bringing fashion back to North Dakota. I'm gonna and I'm gonna wipe the floor of those with those spandex wearing luchadores. Oof. Gross."
All right, sounds like you are cutting a promo. So go ahead and roll look.
Yes. Nope. That's 7, I guess. Yeah.
That's a 7.
No, it's a 6.
All right. So it doesn't land well. You're kind of in the middle of that, and Capitan X busts in the middle of your promo, and he says, "This is how it's going to be, Mr. Stylish. This is a mask versus mask match. If I win, you have to wear a mask. If you win, you can unmask me. That is how this is going to be." And he will storm out.
Yeah, and I think you see like this shocked face on Mr. Styles' face. It's like, cut.
Nice. All right, I got to mute here for a second. Here, while the phone rings. All right. So we cut from that. The audience is kind of shocked. A mask versus mask match here in the North Dakota in a house show. This could be crazy. We'll cut to Capitan X's entrance. He's got like a cut rate speed racer thing that's made that, you know, of him driving in a car with the sort of Racer X style thing, and it's done very badly with bad green screen, and he comes out to essentially, "I can't drive 55," but the words are changed and it's 65, so it's not copyrighted. And he comes in and he makes his way up to the corner. He's doing the gun hands, you know, and he looks cool. And then we cut to you. Tell me, Mr. Style, what does your entrance look like?
Oh yeah, I think actually like there's this. He's wearing like this mask with the Scandinavian flags on it, and I think like, "Oh, welcome North Dakota. I am in you." And like, "Get this mask, limited edition today, honoring my Scandinavian heritage." Woo! Just like, and like, I mean, probably like someone just told them it's. "I'm gonna bring the style back. Look at this mask, much cooler than," and then like, "That's why we're getting rid of it. I'm gonna throw that mask in the garbage. I promise."
Oof! All right. And what is the music that's playing when you come in?
I think it's like it's like James Blunt with "I am beautiful" instead of "You're beautiful."
All right. And it sounds like you're working the audience.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with your audience. Let's see if you can pull back from the brink here.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. You get 2 momentum.
Yes.
All right. And you get up into the ring. We cut briefly to the announce table as these two figures prepare for this titanic clash, mask versus mask. Matt, you're on the announce table. Who is seated there today?
Greetings, wrestling fans. It is I, the paragon of perspicacity, the padishah of professional wrestling, here to lend my inimitable insights to you today. And we come to you from the Grand Forks Fairground, and I must confess, it was difficult to find the place. So I asked a gas station attendant, how do I get to Grand Forks? And he told me to go north until I smelled excrement, and then west until I stepped in it.
And the audience is booing. Okay, and your announce table partner is kind of ducking because there's still a lot of mud around here. But we'll cut to that. Mr. Style, this is you versus a non-player wrestler. You have control of the match. Essentially, we kind of go back and forth. How do you start this match? Capitan X has gotten up into the ring. He's got his black tights, shirt off. You know, he's clearly applied the baby oil, so he shines in this. How do you start the match? What's your first maneuver here?
I think like I like get him into a grapple and try to like get his head under my arm, and then like look over to the audience like, do you think his face is ugly? Can I hear a yes? Can I hear a yes?
All right.
Proceed to like try to
kind of pull him around doing that. So that sounds like you're using your gimmick to do this. So let's have you roll with your look.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. So you go to do that to grab, but you realize that the baby oil was a strategic choice on his part, and you can't quite land that grapple. So you're going to give him one momentum, okay? And he takes control. He proceeds to work you over hard. He grabs you to do the side slam, throws you down, turns you over, and starts working your knee. Like, that's what he's going to do, is he's going to get your leg and he's going to start working at the elbow, kind of pushing down on it, bends it up.
Sorry, can I use my gimmick move at this point to interrupt?
Sure, absolutely.
Showstopper. Once per episode, you can appear in any segment, in ring or out, and turn it into something about you. When you make your appearance, declare your agenda for the segment and continue on from there. So, so the ref that's in the ring, the quantum leap sound effect starts. The lights flicker, and when the light comes back up, instead of the ref wearing the referee's outfit, is Dr. Chaos. Oh no! You must stop! You both must stop! You're too pretty to wear a mask. If we lost your face, it would lead to worldwide calamity. And you are too ugly to have your face seen. If you lose your mask, the children across the world would cry out in horror. I cannot allow this to happen. I cannot allow this. And at which point, I'll pull out a proper ray gun marked mind control the ray, with the Gauntlet Lab symbol on. It's available in the gift shop just outside.
Right.
And I'll go with the really bad sound effects and take control of their bodies. You both can resist this if you want, but if you want to resist, you are breaking kayfabe.
So you get a momentum. So what do you think there? Mr. Style, do you want to resist this? This is not the kind of match plan that you'd had.
Yes, I do. I think like actually Mr. Styles is like, oh hell no, you're not just respecting this this is my moment. This is a blatant show of disrespect, and I'm trying to use my using 2 momentum to use my technical move.
Okay, and
you need to break kayfabe first.
Well, let me hang on. Let's check the technico here first, and let's see how this does here. Okay. So make a big shield of respect, gain a heat. Okay. All right. So we are going to have you roll the break kayfabe first, and then we'll roll into that technico. Does that seem cool with you? Does that seem reasonable, Mr. Style?
Sure.
Okay. So you get up, you kind of grab the mic, you start shouting. Let's have you roll with real.
I'm rolling like a champ. Got another 5.
Got another
6.
5. 6.
Well, actually, I can use the momentum to get it up to 7.
Yes, you can. So you're going to get 2 momentum, but you have to pick one of those results. You lose a heat with someone. You lose someone's support, or they're going to book you in a punitive match for later for doing this.
I mean, I definitely think like the thing that makes most sense in the fiction is book me in a punitive match with maybe Mr. Dr. Chaos, because that seems like the ultimate nightmare of the styles.
All right, so they'll book you in a punitive match. We'll decide what that is depending on timing, but we'll definitely do that. But you can break that, and you can spend your 2 momentum now since you're calling that out to roll into your technico.
Yeah, I think I want to. I think I want to win the match, actually.
Okay, so tell me what that looks like.
Yeah, I think just like he does that, and then he takes Capitan X in the grapple, and it's like, no, we're showing his face, crying children or not. This bad style got to go. And like I think he just breaks off his mask like with the grapple under.
And
no!
What an injustice has been perpetrated here tonight. Capitan X came in with a wily maneuver, mental preparation, the likes of which this jabroni was not prepared for. And clearly seeing his insuitability to compete at this level, he arranged these shenanigans. This refereeing it's intolerable. How the match should have been called. This interference was clearly planned by Styles.
Excellent. So you get this. Capitan X was willing to. He wasn't breaking kayfabe, so he's shocked when you do that. And the announce table is shaking. So you get to roll your finisher.
Yes. Let's see if I can actually get an okay roll for once. Let's see. It's an 8.
Okay. Do you have any momentum?
I have 3 momentum.
You could spend 2 and push it up over if you wanted.
Sure.
So tell me what this finisher looks like, because you hit it solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like the crowd, pretty much like what the finisher here is that the crowd actually reacts positive to it, because I mean. It's a like shitty move on Mr. Styles' part, and it's like, I give this face an F, and everyone is like, yeah. I'm like, oh, woo.
And how do you pile drive him? What are you doing? What's the physicality of it?
Yeah. I think like I take him. I think actually Mr. Styles like lifts him up, and it's like, I give you an F, and like slams him into the floor.
Oh, so solid body slam. Drop down, take him for the 3 count. You take the win. You're going to get from your finisher move, you're going to get another audience. They are buying it up. And the refs, they're going to try and clear the ring quick. So there's no more kayfabe breaking or things going off script. So they're kind of rushing that and relying on a PbtA to kind of cover it over with outcry while they're getting that.
I hope you fans are ready to have a conversation with a police officer because you have just witnessed a robbery.
And so they will clear the ring. Capitan X, he didn't have any makeup on. He wasn't expecting to have his mask pulled off. And he does not look good. And he is furious.
Okay, the ref shirt comes off. It basically gets thrown over the captain's face. Oh no! Oh no! They've seen it! Oh, the end times are coming! This starts the apocalypse! Oh no! Oh, he's going to pay. Oh, Mr. Styles! You will pay for this! You do not know what you have done!
Yeah, and I think Mr. Styles is like, you are next, Dr. K. Oz.
And I'm heel turning.
Oh, okay. So that seems perfect to me. A good change up. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna pull off to backstage here in the interim as we get set up for the third match. Terminatrix comes to where you are, Kat.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the general manager just wanted me to tell you that they had a change of booking and they're putting you in against Fahrenheit, okay? Just wanted to tell you. And she'll walk off.
Great, thanks.
All right. The next match is going to be Kat, the Cannon Causey versus Mr. Fahrenheit. Is anything anybody wants to do backstage before we cut to promos? Hearing none.
Kat is definitely going to tell Mr. Fahrenheit that there is some bullshit in the general management ranks, and they're trying to spin the women off into a different division entirely. And this has the feel of a punitive match.
So what do you say, Mr. Fahrenheit?
Well, they can't fire me. You know how many Sub Pig t-shirts they sell now? Follow my lead. I have an idea. We'll have an accident and you'll go over.
Okay.
All right. We'll cut from that. Garwin, can I have you on the announce table for this one?
Surely you can. Hell,
Okay.
it's Johnny Moolah coming at you from Great Fox.
Awesome. All right. So let's go to the promos. We're going to do that if it's a backstage package or whatnot. So Kat, kind of have to do this on the fly. Do you think this is an interview or what? Or what's it would just have one camera on you? What's your promo? We'll do both yours and then Fahrenheit's, and then we'll do your entrances. What do you think yours looks like?
I think mine is probably like spliced together from an old interview or something, saying, so how do you feel playing second fiddle to Mr. Fahrenheit and everything? Trying to build in that, but do I want to unseat him angle? And how do I feel about essentially being his ring girl at times? And yeah.
Oh, I like that. So let's have you roll your look.
My look is not very good, I think. Okay.
It's a 0.
Although, oh nope, I didn't take that. That's a 5.
So, people are already doing the Mr. Fahrenheit chant when this comes on, so the audience kind of doesn't hear that at all. And you know, that's coming, and the general manager comes up to you just as you're getting ready to go in and says, "So I'm just going to tell you now, you don't want to mess with the Terminatrix. That's my protege."
I didn't intend to mess with her, but I did intend to keep wrestling where there's actual, talent.
You'll go where we tell you to go. And he'll walk away. Kind of get that another anger reaction shot from you as the former cyborg destroyer walks away. And we'll cut to the promo from Mr. Fahrenheit. Mr. Fahrenheit, please.
Okay, so as the camera comes in on Mr. Fahrenheit, he's got just like a handful of hot dogs. Hot diggity dog, daddy! And he's throwing them now at the camera. Yeah, that Ripper show tried to make a fool of the spaceman lover last week, daddy. He sure did. Oh, and there were hot dogs. But there was another kind of dog, daddy. That Ripper, he showed me that he's a dirty dog. A dirty dog that doesn't care about the integrity of our fine sport, daddy. But that's okay, because he learned when you go up against the luscious one, you go against every pretty kitty in the cosmos. And the one, my best Betty, that he completely disregarded was that fine feline. Oh, my cat will do anything for me, daddy, and you best remember that. And now, tonight, they try to drive a wedge between us. We're going to prove that she'll do whatever I say, daddy.
Nice. Let's have you roll look, Mr. Fahrenheit.
Where did that roller go? Let's see if I can do this right this time. So that is a 7.
That is a 7. So that is just barely. You can add a stipulation. You can gain momentum, or you can gain a heat with Cat or Ripper.
I'm going to take a heat with Ripper from that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to cut out. They're now the hot dog vendors are doing good business right now because it kind of pushed that. They've got things cleared. The audience is set up. We've got the announcing table there. There's talk about what the big match is going to be, but this isn't the final match. There's going to be one more after this. But Kat, tell me, what does your entrance look like this time?
Well, they don't have much in the way of lights or anything to work with, but they could fit in some sound in this barn. Probably because they do announcing stuff for the fair. And
absolutely.
So her intro music has, big bumping bass and everything, but normally there'd be like some green light and stuff, and they don't have any of that. So she's making it work with just the musical intro.
They play Cat Scratch Fever like real low too to kind of push that. But boom, 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 boom. Okay, you come in, you get up to the ring. Are you doing anything to get cheap heat or to work the audience here?
Yeah, sure. So she comes out, climbs into the ring, gonna have a mic and said, yeah. So we're not only in this backwater of, what is it, like Grand Forks, North Dakota, but we're supposed to be fighting each other?
Boo.
Well, if we have to, fine.
You're dismissive. You say the name of the town with derision in your voice, and they don't quite understand what derision means, but they understand that you're not talking right about them. So you will get the momentum from the cheap heat there. But then the music cuts in, and we go to Mr. Fahrenheit's entrance. And what does that look like?
You know, again, the cheap copy of Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" starts playing, and he's kind of like strutting and grooving to the ring. He's got the entourage of girls that come to the ring with him, and as he's coming, he's kind of like blowing kisses to Kat and like waving hi to her and stuff, like, you know, clearly not acting as if this is, you know, some kind of, you know, blood feud or anything that he's concerned with.
I don't know if anyone's actually told Mr. Fahrenheit tonight that he's in a match. He seems to think he's out here just to speak to people and have a good time. Did someone would actually let him know what's going on here?
And as Mr. Fahrenheit's coming to the ring, he's going to go for cheap heat because there's still like mud all over the place, right? He's like, look at all this mud, baby. I know a cat that would love this. Just roll around in it.
All right.
Teasing them with the identity.
Let's have you take the cheap heat for your sub pick reference there. Kat didn't hit her promo very well. You did better. So, Mr. Fahrenheit, you're going to start out. You get up in the ring. You're start out and control this match. So tell me what that looks like.
That looks like he comes into the ring. He walks up to her, kind of goes to like shake her hand like you would, you know, to begin like any real legitimate fight. Then like takes a knee and kisses it, and motions for her to twirl around as he's holding her hand as he steps back up.
Yeah, Kat definitely goes through with this, and she has regrets, which she always has regrets. You can't quite see them on her face.
Okay. So do you want to move on from there, or do you think that's
so that after that maneuver, he will then, like with a big flourish, make a motion for her just to lay down on the mat.
And there's definitely a moment of Kat going, so where is this going?
So Matt, tell me what your message is here to Kat. Is it making the audience think that you're asking her to lay down?
Yeah. She's to take the pinfall.
Kat just falls over backward as if she had been clotheslined or something. I mean, oh my goodness.
And he's kind of pointing to the audience. Yeah.
And look at that blow. That came out of nowhere. Did you see that, Bob? Did you see that? That wind up, that blow? Surely she just fell over, right?
And now he'll kind of strut around the ring a little bit. And he struts up to her. And he just puts his toe like on the center of her chest. And starts motioning for the referee to count the pin.
Why don't you roll break kayfabe?
All right. So what stat does that use?
Real.
Real. It's not good. That's okay though. That work?
Which one'd you roll? Oh, so you got a 5 and a 1. What's your real?
Real is -1.
Okay, so right now you're at a 5, unless you want to spend momentum.
I
spend
will spend 2 momentum. Yeah, we're going to break kayfabe.
On the sheet, your real is 0. Not that that changes it a bunch, but
oh, you're right.
So just one.
Just one, yeah. Woohoo.
So
and look at that. Like the loyal sidekick that she has just laid herself down for the champ. Laid herself down for a man. And such loyalty, such integrity. You just don't find this in any other sport. I might put him over.
okay. So this is exactly what the audience was waiting for. Okay. For you to kind of pick it up and make fun of management and break kayfabe and go nuts here, and you're going to get an audience then, Matt.
All right.
And they're loving it. They're shouting your name, Kat. They're shouting Mr. Fahrenheit. And they get the ref will come over and do the 3 count, though hesitantly, like he doesn't want to get involved with what management is going to say.
Then right before 3, he, kind of signals to her to throw him off, He's got an idea for how to get her over here.
So Kat does the kick out, even though that's pretty ridiculous, given that there's just a toe holding her down.
So kick out, and are you giving Kat control of the match, Matt?
I am.
Kat, what are you going to do?
Goodness, out of character, I'm going, oh no, what is Mr. Fahrenheit trying to set me up for? Probably in character as well. I don't think that they planned all of this.
So he's clearly asking you to wrestle. Like
Yeah.
Now we got that turn. So what would you do? You haven't planned anything. You guys you're on your own.
Yeah, and I'm gonna spring up, and where is that sheet that I had? And yeah, I'm just gonna totally break his segment and instead kind of like spring off the ropes and attempt to clothesline him, even though he's bigger than me. I mean, it still looks a little goofy, but
All right. So that sounds to me like you're doing work. Does that seem right?
I am always doing work.
Okay. So let's have you roll with work.
I can't roll at all today. That makes it an 8 with my work.
That's fine. You hit it pretty well. You can keep control, or you can give him control and get a momentum.
I'm going to give him control and take the momentum, I think.
So tell me what that clothesline looks like, and how do you transition then, Matt?
All right, so he takes the clothesline, and again, he's trying to put her over now. He completely disagrees with the women's division stuff, and I think given like his history of it, he really got over when he just completely went off script. So now he's trying to like pass that on to newer workers as well. He's gonna sell that clothesline, take like an insane bump where it throws him over the ropes onto his back. And then get up, after, selling for a bit, and start digging under the ring and pulling out various plunder. There's the garbage can with all the stuff in it already, like keyboards, because, they explode good. Stop signs, things of that nature. And he's just now throwing plunder into the ring.
All right. So are you kind of so what do we think is happening here?
Is this what's the name of the move?
You can work the audience.
Work the crowd yet? Yeah.
Okay. Then let's have you roll work the audience.
All right, and what's that one?
That is audience.
All right.
And after he does, can I step in with a move?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, so that's a 5.
they're seeing this, but they you're taking too long outside the ring, so they're not digging it as much. They the pacing is a little bit off because you haven't practiced it, so you can't work the audience anymore this episode. So you lose that opportunity. But we're going to cut to the understudy, and then we're going to Kat. You're going to be in control of the match once the understudy's done.
So I'd like to do my comic relief move when I insert myself into a tense situation.
Okay.
And so there's going to be a light flash and a music change, and it's that like off-brand Terminator dum sort of techno music going forward. And coming running out of the rings is the cyborg understudy. Running out with his like motherboards taped to him and a couple of laser pointers left and the gray wig. And behind him is the sort of blonde bimbo Terminatrix who has like the fax machine taped to her chest as he comes running up into the ring and shoves Mr. Fahrenheit out of the way and yells at Kat saying, You are not going to win this one. We will not let this stupid man and his stupid colors with his falling over and not doing real wrestling let you through. You have insulted and threatened my valet, Terminatrix, and she who cannot protect herself must be protected by me, Cyborg Destroyer. So I will destroy you with cyborgness. And as he comes in, like, running at you, you can choose any implement in here, but it's a complete takedown. Like, you just swing one, hit him out of the ring as, like, the Terminatrix girl is running around going, oh no, sort of thing.
I love everything about this. Yeah, so as he comes into the ring, Kat just kind of looks at the audience and looks at the stuff scattering it and picks up a giant stop sign because he needs to stop now and just baseball smack him back out of the ring.
Perfect. We're going to have the clown roll, his comic relief move, and then we're going to check and see how you're going to follow up on the match, Kat.
Let's see.
Did they give us a new script or something? I mean, this doesn't have any of this in here.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Mike Slive?
So I got an 11. So yeah, as that like stop sign comes in and hits him, there's a perfectly timed like light flash and a woo, sort of tweeting birds sound effect as I spin around in a circle and fall down. And I would like to gain a heat with Kat.
Okay.
And I would like to gain a concession.
Okay.
Because we've had a lot of talk about the complicated merch table, and I think in all of the stuff with Doppelganger undercutting me, they haven't actually made a real understudy figure yet. They just like boost sales of other figures when I dress up as old characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I want an understudy figure. I want an actual one. I want him to come with a valet, this blonde chick next to me. And I want the first costume for the understudy to be Cyborg Destroyer and Terminatrix, as they're going to destroy a lot of the old stock of those Cyborg Destroyer and Terminatrix figures to take their accessories and put in mine.
Nice. So you are undercutting them badly. You get taken down. The crowd loves it. Kat, but let me ask you this: Fahrenheit, have you come into the ring by this point?
Actually, the first thing he'd do is walk over to the understudy. What you've been doing is really funny, but I didn't think it was so funny last week. It starts like really going ape shit on the prone understudy, and I mean, you can't keep me down, Daddy.
And he's selling the hell out of it, like Cyborg Destroyer cannot stand up to this fury.
Kat, you have control of the match.
And Kat just jumps out of the ring. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna kind of launch out of the ring so that I'm gonna crash into Mr. Fahrenheit in such a way that he kind of flops over the understudy, so I'm getting both of them in one shot, kind of, more or less.
Okay. This is now. Let me ask you this: are you doing your heel move? Right, you're a heel. Are you doing this because you're not booked to win?
Yeah. What? Let me look at my heel move actually does again, because I keep getting the phrasing. Something underhanded to do what I want. Oh, that is totally what I'm doing. I am all about
spend 2
underhanded
momentum
now.
and you can go for the win.
Yeah, so I am going to win the match.
Okay, come down. How do you land hard? How do you sell that Fahrenheit?
Oh, he sells it like crazy. In fact, this is kind of what he wanted. There's all the garbage outside the ring. It kind of has his trademark look now. And when he hits her, he is digging around in the tape on his thumb, and he slices his head open real good when she hits him. And so when he finally does get up, like, he's got like crimson mask, his bandana, he's got all blood in with the tie-dye now.
All right, you get to roll your finisher then, Kat. You've still got 1 momentum left.
Okay. Another 6. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna use that remaining momentum to bump it up.
Okay.
Oh, look at her as she goes to the very top, and she is airborne. Oh, look at the hang time there. Oh, shoot. Goodness. How long have I gone on about this? She's still up there? And oh, that hit! Oh, that hit came out of nowhere. Oh, he's still seeing stars. He came in the bright mask of colors, and he's going out seeing stars. And I'm putting her over.
Okay. So that means that both Kat and Mr. Fahrenheit get an audience. Smashes down. There's probably at least one cut shot, probably, not intended, but a shot on camera of the general manager, the former Cyborg Destroyer, standing there, not looking happy at all.
And I think as he is standing there on camera like that, that's when Cyborg Understudy and Terminatrix come like limping up the aisle and off stage and pass by him in the camera shot as I just tossed that gray wig at his chest.
All right, they are clearing the ring for the big match they're going to do here, because we are going to end with a King of the Hill match here with everybody. So everybody has a chance to kind of get clear and get set. We'll do some backstage stuff, but Mr. Style.
Yes.
General manager will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
He will say, hey, that turnaround with Capitan X was pretty good. I think you did a good job there.
I think Mr. Stiles looked a little surprised at that. It's like, oh, yes.
And he reaches, and he puts his arm around your shoulder, and he says, now, we'll do this King of the Hill match here in just a second. I just want to say, I know accidents sometimes happen in the ring. And if something were to happen with Understudy or Cat, let's just say that management would look the other way.
So what's in it for me? Am I going to win matches more from now on? Sure, my fans would appreciate that.
You do that, and we'll write out Dr. Chaos after this match. And we'll give you a shot at the belt.
Well, I think we have an agreement then.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I like my face as the on front of the posters. That's what I want.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good. You're a good kid. You're gonna go places. And he will walk away. So they're getting ready for the big King of the Hill match. Does anybody want to do any backstage stuff or any scenes before we go into this?
I'd like to do a segment if I could, please.
Absolutely. What do you want to do?
So I appear in the middle of the ring, and we do a quick commercial for Gauntlet brand clothes cleaning product. We literally have the people coming on. Oh, you won't believe what happened here, and do the whole 2 different ones, and one cleans, the other one doesn't, and oh, watch this, and I've got Mr. Fahrenheit's bandana that was covered in blood, and oh, watch this. I dip it in, and as I pull my hand out, it's actually a sub-pig mask. Oh, I don't know how that got there.
Oh
dear.
Are you working the audience?
I'm breaking kayfabe, I think.
Oh, okay. Let's have you roll real.
This is possibly not the best thing that I've ever done, but just trying to find my dice roller. I've got so many windows open. Sorry about this. The
okay.
Site's crashed on me. Here we go. Okay, well, that's a 7.
That's a 7. So you get 2 momentum. You can lose heat with someone, or you can lose someone's support backstage. I don't think punitive match applies given the setup.
No, I will lose a heat with. I think I'm crossing over a little bit into the understudies thing here, so I'm going to lose a heat with him.
Okay, that seems reasonable to me. Kat, by the way, you were just in a match with the understudy who you have 4 heat with, so you actually gained an audience from that match.
Nice. That puts me at audience 4.
So you're going to get an advance, and you are now over, unless somebody knocks you down. All right. So anybody else have any backstage things you want to do before we go to the King of the Hill match?
I have a brief one.
Sure.
It's just a like 30-second on-camera thing, but it's in one of the locker rooms that's darkened, and you see like the back of understudy's head with the question mark spandex, and he's sort of a panning shot going along a wall as like hanging up there's another sub-pig mask, because they're all over the place. There's one, he sort of shakes his head, and then there's like the wig and all the circuit boards. No. Then there's the reindeer antlers that are still like gently dripping mud off of them. No. Then he comes to the last one, and you can't quite see it behind his head, but he nods yes. He reaches back and he pulls up a hood over his head that's like black with dark blue question marks. Pans back a little bit, you see the sort of spray painted U and circle around it as he turns and brings down, and it's like one of those long nosed Cyrano de Bergerac masks, but he puts the mask on his face and nods, and the lights go out.
Perfect. So they will scramble. They will get everybody into the ring. It's going to be all 5 of you. We'll talk about the entrances here in just a minute. And we'll do the order because everybody's going to have a chance to do that. But the sixth person in the ring is Venomous. And you will see this giant of a man in this black outfit. And he doesn't say anything. You saw him talking with the general manager just before the match. And the general manager may be pointing at the understudy a couple of times. And you'll see Venomous comes walking out. They've got essentially Dun, dun, dun. They've got the Spider-Man music, sort of badly done, and he gets up into the ring. And then second person to come in is Mr. Style. Mr. Style, anything different about your entrance here?
Yeah, I think he has gotten like his manager to like go to the nearest like electronic shop and got like this big lights so that they can light him when he comes in. And he's like, you see, I'm already bringing the style back to North Dakota now with music and lights.
Nice to kind of walk along with you. They're doing the lighting to get you the catch. That seems good.
Mm-hmm.
Get up. You got to get up into the ring. Get there. I think the next person to come in is Kat.
Kat comes in and her music is, pounding again. It goes for a second, like they start it and there's the drop and she comes through.
And you'll come on down, get up into the ring. You've probably never seen this guy Venomous before, but you've heard he's got a very bad reputation for being kind of rough in the ring. But you will get up there. And then I think we get the understudy.
So I think it starts with that weird abstract filled Glacian music again, before it quickly comes to like a record scratch stop, and all the lights in the barn go out. Again, it's not very effective. There's bright floodlights, whatever. But when they come back on, a whole section of the audience, which happens to be the like 2 football teams of the wrestlers that I've managed to coerce into this, they're all holding up these pamphlets from before that fell from the top. They've unfolded them and they make a giant like collage picture of the spray painted U in a circle, and most of them got it in the right position, so it's pretty legible. But as they bring them down, that whole section of the audience, they're all dressed in the hoodies. They all have the like long nose masks as they all stand up as one. Hey, finally gets it.
Oh no, I knew where you were going. I just didn't know how you were going to implement it.
But they all stand up as one and point at the ring. And one of them stands up and says, Professor Oz. Professor Oz, where are you? You've been ruining the timeline here. And the people of South Bend, is that where we are?
Grand Forks.
Who cares?
I'm in South Bend. Grand Forks.
Grand Forks will not stand for it anymore, as they like split as a wave as Undernonymous comes walking calmly up into the ring.
That's a big production. That sounds to me like you're working the audience.
Nice. And that's plus audience.
Yep.
7-10.
Look at that. 2 momentum. Dr. Oz, do we want to have you respond to that before the last person comes in, or do you want to hold off until the end?
I'll hold off until I come in.
Okay. Then, Mr. Fahrenheit, it's your entrance for this King of the Hill match. Anything different about it?
I mean, he's still covered in blood from the last match. But he's attempting to no sell it, and he's still, kind of coming out in his usual mode. But he's put into the ring, the cat, like, saying, I forgive you, Kitty. I forgive you.
And so you can come up and get into the ring, and that leaves us with Dr. Oz.
Okay, so this time there's a certain music that normally plays in Muppet Lab segments on the Muppet Show. It's this, but it's in a minor key.
Okay.
And the smoke comes up from the entrance, and you can see glowing lights, and this modified lawnmower rides out with with lighting actually strapped to it, just literally strobing LEDs and a little bit coming there. Oh, Someone's called me. I'm not the one who's been naughty here. Oh no. The one you're looking for is him. And I'll point to Mr. Styles. He's been a naughty boy. And I intend to make him pay.
So that's another big production number. The coughing is a problem.
No, sorry, I shouldn't have muted it. That was actually supposed to be.
So, what do you think? Are you working the audience?
I think I'm cutting a promo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds even better. Roll with look. Seven. So what do you want? Momentum? Heat?
I want a 12, but I don't think I'm going to be getting that. I will get a... I'll get some... I will get heat with Mr. Style.
Okay. And you come in, and so for this match, under special matches, on that tab, there are some rules for how this works. Essentially, we start with someone in control. People can spend momentum to interrupt. When you go, if you're the king and you go to do your move, we take that if you're the king thing. If you've taken control and you want to challenge for the hill, we do the challenging for the hill move. We work through. There is a booking on this. There is an NPW, a non-player wrestler in the ring. And we're going to start with one player in control. And that's actually going to be Mr. Style. Mr. Style, you're going to be in control because as Professor Chaos comes up in, you're probably the first one given the chance to react. So what do you want to do? You are king of the hill right now.
Well, I think go on top of like the ropes and cry out to the audience. I'm gonna pay, huh? Didn't you already pay to get in here? You gonna see me crack this person's bone off, don't you? That's how you do it here in North Dakota, I've heard.
Oh, I don't think bone off is quite the right turn of phrase you wanted to use there, old chap.
So are you trying to work the audience, or do you want to go in and do a move?
Well, I thought I got some cheap heat, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Take a cheap heat. So who are you passing control over to then?
I'm passing control over to Mr. Fahrenheit.
Mr. Fahrenheit, as Mr. Style goes up on the top rope, starts shouting at the audience, you've kind of got the edge there. What do you want to do?
Well, he's on the top rope. He's ignoring what's going on in the ring. Presumably, how big is Mr. Style?
Like 180, pretty lean.
Okay, yeah, so I think Mr. Fahrenheit's probably bigger than most of the people in the ring. So he's just going to come up on that one arm, crotch him, and kind of dump him over his head. Like, you know, just like a big side toss off the top rope.
So that sounds like work, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you roll work, and you're challenging for the heel. Hill. Jeez. Listen to me not talk.
So that is a 5.
So you get dumped off as you go to do that. Essentially knocks you back. And you have to pick one from that list. Do you give a momentum to the king and stay in the match, or are you thrown out of the ring and eliminated, gain a heat with them?
No, I'm going to give him momentum and stay.
Okay. So you get to know the momentum, and King, you're in control. What do you want to do, Mr. Style? And imagine that the other people are kind of scrumming and pushing against each other, and there's that maneuvering around that's going on with the 6 people in the ring as all of this is happening. Venomous is trying to get at the understudy. What do you want to do, Mr. Style?
I think there's like this. I think I get like what looks to be like a cattle prod or something from someone in the audience, and go to like buzz the understudy with it.
Ooh, okay. So that sounds like we're doing look like a signature move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Your look is shocking.
Oh. So go ahead and roll with look, and let's see what you do, King.
That's a 5. I'm going to use 2 momentum to bump that up to a 7.
Okay.
It's a good thing the understudy has multiple masks on, because he is not looking happy right now.
So you maintain. You get to pick one from that list. You can keep control of the hill, but give another challenger control of the match. You're dumped off, and somebody dethrones you, and they take control, and you get heat with them.
I think I'm gonna stay in the match, and I'm gonna give control over to the understudy.
Okay. So understudy goes for you with the cattle prod. Maybe tags you a little bit, but now you are in control.
All right, so I give a couple of good, like, full body electrocution shock sort of things before I go stumbling back, and I think I stumble back sort of into the shadow of Venomous, who's coming in for like a headlock grab. And I just managed to slip under his legs and come running back in at Mr. Style, who I will have pulled out 2 spray paint cans, and they're not actually spray paint. They sort of like shoot colored smoke.
Okay.
But I'm coming in to tag his jacket, his like very expensive designer jacket there, and scare him off the hill that way.
That sounds like look.
All right. Shaking cans, spraying smoke. It'll all obviously go great. I am amazing. That's a 12.
That's a 12. You rule. You keep control of the match, and you can choose one. You become the king, you gain 2 momentum, or you gain a heat with Mr. Style.
I think I'm going to become king.
Okay. So
I scare him right off the hill because, I don't know, protecting your fashion there.
Does that seem reasonable to you, Mr. Style?
So yeah, he runs away rather than have his beautiful jacket be sullied.
Okay.
And I just stand there on top of the hill with like both spray cans spraying out to either side and sort of a victory smoke.
So you're the king. What happens next? Unless somebody would spend momentum to interrupt you and take control.
I'll do that.
You get, the king, and then
I come up behind. I grab the mask and I pull back. So I'm yanking the mask back and trying to basically just rip it off him.
Okay.
As I rip it off, there's another mask underneath, but it's a porcelain doll's mask.
Nice.
Nice. So that sounds like is this like something you guys worked on, or is this
I think this is something we worked on. I think this is a heat move.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your heat with the king.
Okay, so my current heat with understudy is 3. Far too many windows open. Yeah, that's a 9. I use a momentum to bump it up to 10.
Okay, so you're challenging. You can retain control of the match, and do you become the king? Do you get 2 momentum, or do you gain a heat with him?
I will gain 2 momentum, I think.
Okay. And then what happens now that you're the king?
So I've ripped his mask off. I look at this mask in my hand. I look around. I look around totally confused by what's going on here. Oh, 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 oh no! Oh no! No, not now! Not now! And there's strobing lights, there's flashing lights, and the arena goes dark. It'll come back up again. And I'm using my heal move to get out of the match.
Okay.
And the person I was possessing this time is actually the Terminatrix. And she rips off the actual lab coat.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
So-
and I think the under Anonymous is like when you ripped off that mask, his whole demeanor changes and he's sort of hunched and crazy and like cowering away in fear, especially as the glory of Terminatrix shines out. So many laser pointers.
All right. So you spend that heal move. You're going to get out of the match. That's going to override the creative's booking. You're going to get out of that. Terminatrix is in there. Who do you pass control to, though?
I think I'll pass control to Terminatrix.
Okay. Terminatrix comes at you, Cat. She's king of the hill, and she goes to kind of throw you out, grabs onto you, and she's, this is her high point. She's going to do this and grab on. But of course, she's a non-player wrestler. So tell me what you do to counter, and how do you do this?
I think she, goes grapple, and I'm ready for it, and just kind of fling that into throw it or down. Where I'd normally go for a pin, but this isn't a pin match, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. So that sounds like work, and you're challenging for the hill.
Yes, I am. And that's a 10. Ha. Oh, wait, that's a 12 with my work.
Ooh, so you retain control of the match, and you become the king, or you gain 2 momentum, or you gain 1 heat with the king. Go ahead, Garwin, that sounds good. What do you think?
Oh, I was pausing in case Garwin wanted to insert commentary. Just there.
No, I'm waiting to see what you've done.
That's a tough choice. I think I'll take the momentum.
Okay. So you are the king, and you've got 2 momentum added on. Throw Terminatrix down. She's not out of the match yet, but she's there. So you can continue on fighting unless somebody wants to spend momentum to interrupt.
I'll spend 1 to interrupt.
Okay. Take control of the match. What do you want to do, understudy?
So let's see. I'm in the new mask. We planned for this. Yeah. So as Cat is up on the hill, I'm going to come like slinking up towards her, and I think I go for like a couple of body blows and then try and catch her in a headlock. And as she ducks out of that, I actually spin behind her and just hold my hands out towards her as like fake blood pumps start spraying out of my wrist there, straight at her face and like all over her costume. And I'm trying to then catch her in a knee and get her to slip up in the blood and fall out of place.
Okay. So that definitely seems like, look, you're doing your craziness there.
Getting into some Bleakwood nastiness here. Oof. That is a 5. So I am gonna bump that up.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna bump that all the way up to a 10.
Up to a 10. Okay. So you get control of the match, retain it, and you can become king, get 2 momentum, or gain a heat with Cat.
I am gaining a heat with Cat as she just manages to avoid slipping, I think. And I imagine Cat, both in and out of kayfabe, is moving into some rather unpleasant looks on her face. She's not happy with what's going on, I'm guessing.
Does that seem reasonable, Kat?
Yeah, I mean, I know this is his thing, but did he have to use so much stage blood? That is hard to get out of costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a camel backpack on under the hoodie. This is a lot of stage blood.
So that blood is sprayed out. You have control of the match. You are the king of the hill. You can continue on unless somebody spends momentum to interrupt.
All right. So as the blood is covering her there, and she's...
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I would say fake blood. No, we can't have fake blood. I have to spend a momentum to interrupt.
Okay.
Real blood or nothing.
Yeah, and sorry, son. We're gonna have to use a hardcore violence move on you.
Amazing.
Now,
All right.
Lowell, this is a rules question.
Sure.
Because I have the move, I guess because this isn't really a rules thing. I have a move that lets me use look when I'm bleeding.
Uh-huh.
Am I bleeding for mechanical purposes right now?
I think we've established from the fiction from last time, when you took the loss, you took that bleed. So I would say, yeah.
All right.
I'm good with that.
So I'm going to use look instead of real for my hardcore violence move on him. And so what this would be like again, this is going to get the people in the dirt sheets excited because the style kind of changes suddenly. When I see him do that goofy crap and I grab him and I throw him in the corner, he starts getting knees and punches in the corner. Very brutal, very stiff.
So we'll do the hardcore violence move, and then control is going to pass. Does that seem cool?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have you roll with look.
Okay, come on, dice roller. Give me something. That is a 6 plus 1. That's a 7.
Okay. So someone else is going to get control of the match, and you pick someone gets injured, you get 2 momentum, or you gain a heat.
Actually,
with
no,
understudy.
I'm gonna put him over on that, if that's okay.
Okay. So you get an audience,
Nice.
and you can pick one from the 7 and 9 list.
All right, so I will gain 2 momentum.
Okay. And I think you retain control of the match then.
Oh, I retain control of the match. That's great.
This is like I'm sorry. You to go on. I was going to do the commentary to go on.
No.
This is like going back in time. This is like 2 great titans of the past fighting each other. Wait a minute. What you mean he's not sub-pig? What? I can't say that. Oh no, no, you're not cutting my mouth.
All right, so Matt, you've controlled the match. There are 5 people left in the ring. You're king of the hill. Cat's there. Understudy's there. Mr. Style is there. Well, actually, 6 people get Terminatrix and Venomous.
All right, so I am going to, after now he is really bleeding. And now I'm going to try to toss him out of the ring for that nonsense.
Okay, so you're the king. Go ahead and roll. Does that sound like work?
I'd say, yeah, it's work.
Or are you legit trying to put him?
Yeah, I'm trying to toss him out of the ring.
Okay, that's power.
All right, so I think I can substitute look for any stat since I'm bleeding.
Okay.
So I will be using look for that. And so what this is now, I've just been pounding on him. He's, dazed and stunned, and I just kind of scoop him up like for a scoop and a slam, and that is a 5. So that is, if you are the king.
On a botch, you get dumped off the hill. Whoever dethrones you gains control and becomes the king. And then you have to pick one.
All right, I will give 1 momentum and stay in the match.
Understudy, somehow you managed to resist Mr. Fahrenheit's assault.
It's not somehow. While I was up there on his shoulders, I was using the last of my fake blood here and some of the new blood to draw some like tag sign / arcane symbols on his back. I've taken control of Mr. Fahrenheit's mind as he sets me down very calmly back on the hill, and I shoo him away to go fight Venomous or something.
And what do you do then? Then what's your next move? You've got some people who can fight off, try and get them out. The timer counts down. We're halfway.
Yep. I think I see Mr. Style coming back up for another run at me, and I'm distracted by him as I don't see Terminatrix coming up behind me until the last minute when I feel a sort of poke on my shoulder. I turn around. She's got laser pointers just blaring in my face. And as I fall over sort of clumsily, I think I'm going to accidentally catch her knee and pull her down with me into a lock on the ground.
Let's have you roll look.
All right. Dupe. Thing. 6, 7, 8.
Okay, you're going to push that up.
I don't think I have enough left.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I only have one left.
We tick the timer down by 1. You can keep control of the hill, but give another person control of the match. You're dumped off the hill, and give them control and gain a heat with them.
I'm going to get dumped off. I think it's Terminatrix that does it. It's probably time to pick up some heat with her. She seems like she's becoming important.
Fair enough. So Terminatrix gets control of the match, kind of cackling maniacally there. And I think she's going to kind of look at Mr. Style, after she's pushing people away, like saying, okay, you need to do your job now, kind of thing. And I think I'm going to pass control over to Mr. Style.
Yeah, and I think it gets yet another prop from the sideline, which is like a horse whip.
Bull whip. Yep. Okay.
And I think and it's also like get your Gauntlet League Wrestling farm props outside after the show, and then aims for his knee.
Okay. Who are you attacking? Terminatrix? Trying to take control of the hill?
Yeah.
Then that sounds to me like what do you think it is? Is that a gimmick thing or is that a work? What do you think?
Gimmick maybe. I mean, it's
so roll look.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's the first good roll I've had all day. It's an 11.
Okay, so you dominate. You can either have 2 momentum, gain a heat with Terminatrix, or you can send her out of the ring, get her out of the match.
Yeah, I'm gonna send her out of the ring.
Terminatrix kind of looks at you. She was like expecting you to help her out, and maybe break Cat or the understudy's knees. And then suddenly you do that bullwhip thing, grab her and throw her over the top rope, and she is out of the match. What do you do then, Mr. Style? Unless someone interrupts with the heat, with momentum.
I think I proceed to I take understood for like a swing around and try to use the momentum to get them out of the ring, and I'm like, this costume gotta go. We can't have these kind of wrestlers in the face ruining the poor eyes of the North Dakota audience.
That sounds to me like something that you've worked out. So why don't you roll your heat with the understudy?
Yeah, that's 1. That's 11.
11. So you get control. If you keep it, you can get 2 momentum. You can get a heat with understudy, or you can send the understudy out of the ring as well.
Yeah, I am sending the understudy out of the ring as well.
Understudy, you are sent out of the ring. We are down.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think as he comes in and he's throwing me off, like part of it is he grabs that porcelain doll mask and it comes off as I'm flying out of the ring. And as I land on the mats to the side, there's just a sort of blank face frowny mask with like big X's for eyes as I just lay there, and magic flowers pop up out of my chest as I just lay there dead.
And the anonymous one has been eliminated. No, seriously. I mean, look, he's wearing a mask. No, I'm not getting confused. Look, give me back that mic.
Mr. Style, you still have control of this match.
Until I interrupt, you mean?
Dun, 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 Cat. What do?
I am going to use this opportunity by him throwing the understudy out of the match to come in from behind and try to take him off the hill.
Okay. It sounds like you're doing your standard good tech wrestling. Let's have you roll work.
And that's a 5.
Total of a 5, huh?
Yeah, that didn't go so hot. Oh wait, nope. With my work, that's actually a 7.
Okay, so you get to pick one from that mid list.
And I'm gonna put Cat over at this point.
Okay.
And there, Mr. Styles thrown his opponent out of the ring, and who's that coming up behind him? Oh, can it be? Yes, it is! Cat in there like a pounce.
So, Cat, do you want to become the king, gain 2 momentum, or gain a heat with Mr. Style?
I'm going to become the king.
Okay, so you're the king, and then what happens?
And I just throw him probably like does a loop or something and kind of square up to prepare for challengers because I still have control of the match.
Yeah. So essentially, who are you trying to get out of here? Is it Mr. Style? Is it Mr. Fahrenheit? Or is it Venomous, who looks like irritated because the person he wanted to break isn't here anymore?
I'm going to try to throw Mr. Style out of the match entirely.
Okay. How are you going to do that? Tell me what that looks like.
So, yeah, Cat doesn't really have power over most of them, but she does have really good form. So as Mr. Style falls, she's going to like pick him up with just perfect execution of, I don't know the name of the move, and try to just wing him off over the top rope.
Roll up, grab, chicken wing him, throw him. Okay.
Using the momentum of him and everything to carry the fact that I don't really have weight on him.
Roll work.
And that's a 10. With my work, it's 12.
All right. So you dominate. Your choice. You can gain 2 momentum, gain a heat with Mr. Style, or you can send Mr. Style out.
I'm sending him out. Haha.
Mr. Style, you go out. You're out of the ring. How do you hit?
I think I hit like into the commentator's bench. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit the announcer's table, smash into that. Does the table break?
Yes, and I think you can hear like mumbling from the microphone. It's like, that was not in the script.
And I think at this point, the announcer who's actually had the mic taken away from him pulls it back using the confusion.
That sounds perfect. So we've got Cat in control. We've got Cat, Mr. Fahrenheit, and Venomous up in the ring. So Cat, you get to continue on unless Mr. Fahrenheit interrupts.
Yeah, so now Cat is going to go for Venomous because this is going to be tricky. She doesn't want to be down to just her and Venomous.
All right, yeah, because he's management's tool right now.
Yeah, Mr. Fahrenheit at least is kind of a wild card, but
all right. So how are you working on this big guy? I mean, he's like 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, he's got like a full foot over Cat, and I think she's going to try to use that height against him and like take knee out or something so that she can get him moving and use that to try to hurl him over the ropes.
Yeah, drop him down, catch his momentum. Again, you're a technical wrestler. Let's have you roll that work.
That's 9.
Do you want to spend momentum to bump it?
Yeah, I will spend my momentum. So it's a 10 now.
So you catch Venomous behind the knee, drop him down, and he is not particularly gainly. So you catch him, and he'll hit that top rope, and it's probably just a moment where he hangs, and then you kind of use the energy to flip him off, and he will land and crashes down hard. You hear a like he landed. You know, it is a hard bump he takes when he smashes into the fairground mud, and it's just you and Fahrenheit.
And Kat definitely pauses for a minute, you know, like looks at Fahrenheit because it's down to them again.
And Mr. Fahrenheit is like strutting around the ring. Oh, woo! Look at that, baby! Look at that!
Well, it looks like after whatever we had earlier, they think they may have actually finally give us the match they advertised. So it is the master and the apprentice in the ring. The Cosmic Spaceman versus the cat. What? That can't be right.
So, Kat, you are in charge still. How are you going to deal with Mr. Fahrenheit?
I think Kat's going to, pull sort of the same thing Fahrenheit did almost and kind of offer a hand. Like maybe she's going to not go through with this. Maybe they're just buds or something. And when he gets in range, then go for a pretty similar thing with Venomous, trying to knock him off center and messily cantilever him over the rope because it's not going to be real smooth given that he's got so much weight on her.
Okay, so this might actually be a little more of a look thing because you're kind of setting this up a little bit.
Yeah, I was angling for like heat or look or one of those.
Oh, heat would be good. What do you think, Matt? Does that work for you?
Yeah, heat works.
Okay, so kind of reach your hand out. Wait, do you come in, Matt?
He's like, yeah, Daddy, look at that. See, I told you there's nothing but love. Woo, don't stop me now. And he goes to like real, like they go get the hand and like come in for a hug as well.
All right.
Yeah. So as it goes to a hug, she's going to kind of hurl him out. And I assume that we've at some point discussed this beforehand or something so I can angle in the heat element.
Perfect. Roll with heat.
Which is good because that makes it an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. So you've got a choice here. You can keep control of the hill, but give him control of the match. You can be dumped off the hill, give them control of the match, and gain a heat with them.
I'm going to go for that one.
So gain a heat with Mr. Fahrenheit. Mr. Fahrenheit, how do you turn that around that you get control of the match and the hill?
So I've got the hill now. I guess this would almost be like I'm not really gonna do any moves. It would probably be cutting a promo.
You want to cut a promo and hand control, or what are we doing?
I think so because you say, "See, I told you, that the cosmic spaceman lover and his pretty kitties were unstoppable when together, Daddy. And now we have proved it. The last 2 challengers in the ring, baby. And now to demonstrate that there is nothing but love in our cosmic distortions, my fine feline will step over the top rope."
So let's have you cut a promo. Now, the other thing you could do is we've got your are you? I think you get access to both babyface and heel there.
Do I?
I think so. As an iconic, I think you count it as both.
Let's see. I think I kind of just fixed it. I kind of want to see what happens with this.
Perfect. So roll your look.
All right, so that will be an 8.
Okay. Do you want momentum, heat, stipulation?
I'm just gonna take momentum.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm gonna take heat.
Take heat to add 1 heat with Cat. Cat, control passes back to you. He's asked you to step out.
Yeah, and Cat is nothing if not loyal. That's not true, but hey, that's the kayfabe character. So, she's got that standard, Cat intensity, and takes it from Mr. Fahrenheit to the top rope, and just does kind of like running, snag the rope, and flip herself off, and she is out.
Whoa! Announcer's table. What's your response?
And there we see the true paragon of what this means. This sport, this honorable sport. There is a bond of friendship here, a bond of loyalty, a bond of respect that goes so deep, so far, to the very core of her. What do you mean she's a heel? What? No, I can't say that.
So we'll cut to that, where the referee will declare Mr. Fahrenheit the winner of this. If you had 4 heat with anybody, then you will gain a heat.
I did.
So I think that Understudy and Cat, because she'll drop and go back up because of that, I think you two will both be over next time.
Nice.
Since that's a simultaneous thing.
And I think the very last shot for the Understudy is that crowd of like football teams in the Cyrano Undernonymous outfits coming, and they like all pick him up and sort of carry him out as a group, pallbearer style, with his fake rose sitting up there and his X's over the eyes mask.
Perfect. And Mr. Fahrenheit, you'll drop down to 3 audience, but you still keep the 4 that you'd got in there for the advance. So there's going to be some advances for next time. They'll cut to that. Probably get a reaction shot of Terminatrix getting up. She looks angry. We see Cyborg Destroyer, General Manager, shaking his hands like, "Oh, you damn kids!" And we will cut and fade to black on that. And that is our show for today. Gerwin, thank you for coming and sitting in today. It is appreciated.
That was amazing.
Thank you. I got through my goal to use most of the face and heel moves, so...
Well, and I had you booked to win. So when you did that turnout, that was great because you kind of left everything out in the open, and the story that rolled out from that was very cool. Matt, good stuff. Cat, oh, good. Fun stuff today. I'm sorry that Mr. Style missed the last 5 minutes, but a good session. So we've got one more of these road shows on Sunday. So we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks. And Understudy, Cat, I think Mr. Fahrenheit, you guys will all have advances to take for next time.
Nice.
So we will get through that. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording then.